feel like this is weird. Hey, so what's up? So recently we've been uploading a lot of like Alaskan footage, but not really even talking through a lot of it. It's been mostly B-roll, so I kind of want to do a little different kind of breakdown of our trip through Alaska and our cruise, especially because this is the last couple of days, and they were pretty awesome. And obviously we're not in Alaska anymore, so yeah, a little bit behind on footage, and I'm sorry. To begin the rest of the couple of days out on the cruise, we ended up going to Wrangell. It's a smaller little island, a little bit more inland, closer to the mainland of Alaska, but it's pretty rich in culture. It's a little bit smaller than we're used to. It's probably the second smallest community that we have actually visited, and they're currently in the process of kind of restoring the island and also bringing people back into tourism and things like that, especially because of COVID. A lot of these places have been hurt, but it's nice because now we get more of an intimate kind of experience. And for the last couple of days, we actually just were exploring a lot of native and cultural experiences. So for this one, we got to visit the clan houses of 3 different indigenous groups that occupy Southeast Alaska. So first in Wrangell, they were occupied by the Tlingit. So all throughout Wrangell, we pretty much got to really experience what it was like to pretty much almost live on the island. We ended up getting to copy over some petroglyphs, which was really cool. We chose the orca, really cool experience. And then you get to be taken over onto the beach where you get to see some legitimate petroglyphs left by the Tlingit people on this place called Petroglyph Beach. A lot of these symbols and a lot of these patterns are actually still unknown of what they mean or what they represent, things like that. They may think that some of these patterns, like these spirals, actually mean this was like a nomadic group leaving and coming from a different place, because they also found the same sketching from like New Mexico, which is freaking crazy. But moving on to one of my new favorite places in all of Southeast Alaska, Kasaan. Or Kasaan, I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. So Kasaan is even smaller than Wrangell. I think their population is only like a couple hundred. Or not even a couple hundred. I think there's only like 13 houses or something like that on the entire in their city or their village. But personally, I really do love the native work that they are doing here. The intricacy and the detailing is really awesome. Over there in Kasaan, they actually don't utilize paint, which is really cool. I really like how some of their artists are just like so intricate in the detailing that they get from when they're carving. It's just awesome. So when we were in Kasaan, we actually got a little private tour from Eric, who is one of the local carvers now. They're part of the Haida community, which is really awesome because I haven't really had too much experience, even though I worked out there. I mostly hung out with the people over in Metlakatla, which we'll get to a little bit later. Over in Kasaan, we actually got to go on a little totem pole hike, which was really awesome. We walked from the docks all the way to the native carving house, as well as their tiny little museum. When we got to visit the local carvers, one of them was actually carving out a canoe using the traditional method, which is awesome. Have you guys ever smelled like really nice wood? Because honestly, I don't remember which kind of wood this was. It might have been Sitka spruce or western hemlock, but it smells freaking awesome. Oh, and last but not least, my current favorite indigenous group in Southeast Alaska, the Tsimshians. I personally have a bias because I used to work with a lot of their community groups. Shout out to Tammy. She is so awesome. If you ever get to go to Metlakatla, please definitely go hit her up. She's awesome. So over in Metlakatla, we ended up getting a live performance by the Tsimshian people, utilizing some skin drums and also some beautiful dance choreography, which is honestly amazing. And to wrap it all up, we ended up going to the Misty Fjords, which is one of my favorite places to be in Southeast Alaska. It's just gorgeous, but we got a little surprised by going into this place that we all like to call in Alaska as God's Pocket. It doesn't officially have a name, which is why we call it God's Pocket. A lot of other people call it like some pretty nasty things, but we call it God's Pocket. But it won't show up on like Google Earth or anything like that. You have to like find it and like search through it. But yeah. Anyways, God's Pocket is probably one of the most desolate areas of all of the Misty Fjords. Not a lot of people go back here. It's gorgeous. It's untouched. And yeah, so that pretty much wraps up the rest of our Alaska tour. That was probably the most amazing cruise I've ever been on, because I've only been on one. But honestly, this was an amazing experience. Thank you to Alaskan Dream Cruises. and Allen Marine Tours. Please go check them out if you're ever gonna go visit Alaska through them. It's probably the best. But yeah, after this video is done, I promise next week that we're gonna be back on schedule somewhat. I'll try to get the Mexico and all these other videos out. So, but yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you later. Fuck. This was terrible. But I hope the shot looks cool. I don't know. I feel like I look stupid, and I don't even know if the microphone worked.